Good morning, Doberman enthusiasts. Diva Denisov of Dabrowski Dobermans, dispelling Doberman disinformation. Video episode 2, 3, 4, 5, wherever we're at. We as breeders run into every imaginable question regarding this breed, and we're amazed constantly at the amount of disinformation that exists, even amongst experienced Doberman breeders. And what we are finding is that the number one area of misinformation in this breed is their genetics. Dobermans have about 4 or 5 genetic issues that are carried in their lines that can be the cause of an owner's grief in the loss of their dog. More and more puppy buyers are coming thinking that by going to a Doberman breeder who shows a lot of credentials, a lot of list of championship wins and different acronyms attached to the front or back of their name, and then they have a bunch of lists of health testing that has gone on, and that kind of lends a sense of confidence to these people, to puppy buyers, that they're doing the right amount of research, and you're on the right track. But the most important thing that any puppy buyer can know about this breed is that it is important for their breeder to know what genetic diseases are carried in the pedigree of the dog. I cannot tell you how many times a puppy buyer has said, "Oh, I don't care about the pedigree. I just want a dog. I just want a pet." And that's like saying, I don't care where or what possible issues might be in the dog that I'm buying. I want to ignorantly purchase something inexpensively, $1,000, $1,500 to get a dog, and I just want to get it cheaply because I just want a dog. You don't realize how dangerous that amount of misinformation, misunderstanding about what a pedigree means is to you as the consumer. Knowing that your breeder knows what genetic issues are in that pedigree and where and when did the parents of that dog die? Have they died already? When did the grandparents die? How old were they? Does the breeder know what they died of? Can you look at your pedigree, Breeder Johnson, and tell me what the first 4 generations of health issues exist back there that you know of? Do you know of any ancestors that have died of bloat? Because if you do, then that means there's a potential for bloat in your puppy. Do any of these dogs carry wobblers? Do any of the dogs in your pedigree back in the first 4 or 5 generations carry wobblers? What about DCM? What about copper toxicity? What about thyroiditis? What do you know is lurking in the pedigree? Are there eye diseases there? Did you know that Dobermans can have a disease called PHPV, which causes them to have blindness? Did you know that Dobermans can have juvenile cataracts and that the parents should be cleared of that, especially if they're European lines, and especially if they come out of specific dogs that are known to carry PHPV and eye issues? So European lines can far more commonly carry eye issues, that if the parents are not cleared for that, your puppies should absolutely be tested before they're sold to you, because it can show up as early as 5 or 6 weeks. So they could do puppy exams and see. So you as the puppy buyer have a lot of responsibility to have a degree of understanding of what it means for your breeder to know what's in their pedigrees. So being an educated consumer gives you a whole lot more confidence in your purchase. A good, reputable breeder is going to be charging in the range of $2,500 to $5,000 for their puppies, depending on that pedigree. Our puppies are $4,000 and they are uncropped. It is because of our pedigrees that we charge what we charge, because we've done the research and we know what's in our pedigrees, so that you don't have to worry as a buyer if any of our puppies have PHPV, juvenile cataracts, osteosarcoma, wobblers, bloat, or DCM. Our dogs, our pedigrees, do not have any of those causes of death in them going back 6 generations. In the 6th generation of our dogs, you will find a dog that died of DCM from a Czechoslovakian line. It's one line. You will find one of our lines, we had a female that died at 6 or 7 of cancer. Now, cancer, as a breeder, there's a lot of things we can do mitigating wise. Anymore, the science around medicinal mushrooms is astoundingly positive in curing cancer in human beings, let alone in pets. So having cancer is a very different thing in your pedigree than having the other aforementioned issues. So as a puppy buyer, start asking these breeders, what is in their pedigrees? What are you breeding on? Why are you making the breeding choices that you're making? To achieve what? Are you trying to improve how big the head is on my dogs? Are you trying to make all of your dogs look like a specific dog, that you like that dog in spite of all of its issues? Knowing what a breeder is breeding on. Are they breeding for working abilities? Is this a working lines dog that's going to be doing French ring, IPO, protection, agility? Are you breeding on high drive and intense temperament? Are you breeding on head or structure or one specific line? Why are you breeding on that? These are all questions that will change the dynamics of your relationship to your future puppy, because you will be armed with the facts and the information about the potential health and longevity of your dog. Be empowered, be educated, be wise. Every breeder has something in their lines that is a concern. And we all need to be transparent about that if we're going to be breeders that care about the breed and care to continue its longevity. We've lost 4 years of longevity in this dog in about 40 years because of breeding choices that people have made that were specifically for physical characteristics and attributes and nothing more. Just breeding on a beautiful head for a dog is not a reason to breed on that dog. You need to look at everything in that pedigree, not just how beautiful the head will be. Example, if you've not been to Vital Screen website, Vital Screen, VITALSCREEN, they breed 6 to 10 litters a year on their dog Hunter, who's known to produce DCM, and dogs are dying before they're about 7 on those lines. But man, are they pretty. They're beautiful, and they're guaranteed to sell to somebody, because somebody's going to see that dog and say, boy, I want one just like that. And you know what they're going to get? They're going to get something that's absolutely drop dead gorgeous. I'd rather have a pretty dog and a healthy dog than a drop dead gorgeous dog. Those dogs from Vital Screen and many of these other big name breeders in Europe are focused on one thing: producing great, big, beautiful Great Dane looking heads and nothing more. It's costly.